Hey everyone, it's your average chess player here. Today we're gonna look at this specific endgame. I've been doing an endgame series on my channel, and here we are with yet another episode. So it's White's turn to play, and we have to find a winning continuation for White here because we have an extra piece. If you're not gonna play for a win, what are we playing for? So feel free to pause the video here if you want to and find the winning continuation for White. um, Note that this endgame has a series of only moves for white, and if you play anything else, it's going to be a draw. So just try to calculate through all the way to the end of the line and not just the first move. So feel free to pause the video and try to do that. If you want to verify your solution, jump to the solution part of the video. I'll leave timestamps in the description. But if you want to stick around and look at me solve this on how I went about it, mistakes that I did, nuances that I saw, and patterns that I recognized, and stick around, watch the video, and let's solve the position together. So let's start. Like I said, White's turn to play. The board is facing this way. The main problem right now for White is the fact that the pawn on b5 is attacked by the king, and there's no way to defend it. The king is too far away, it's on a light square, so bishop can't do anything. So in this position, anything like any of the bishop moves, including bishop takes d6, a move like a6, or any of the king moves, all will result in black just capturing the pawn on b5 and then capturing the pawn on a5. And it'll most likely be a draw. There's not really much to do there. So the only move in this position, prevent that from happening at least, is to play b6. And the idea here is after a b6, by the way, king c6 is also a move. We will try to look at that towards the end. But a b6 is the critical variation. And we are not going to play a b6 back because that is a draw, right? We are going to play the move a6, and that is the whole idea. So we are going to play a6 and start threatening the black king to saying that, hey, I'm going to queen. Because that is the only win condition for white here, is to get a queen with this pawn. Now black's win condition here, or like at least condition to draw, is going to be like maybe like play king c6, king c7, king b8, and catch up to this pawn. Or because from king c6 can't access b7 because of this pawn, so might need like 3 moves. But it is black's turn to play right now. So black, if black plays any of these the pawns up, oh sorry, not this pawn, this is pinned. If black tries to play something like b5, a7 is immediately winning. White is going to queen. So king c6 is the only move to keep black in the position. So black can play king c7 and king b8. So if I play a7 immediately, king p7, and black catches up, and this is a draw. So we're not going to do that. Now if we play something like king to d3, black can now play b5, and there's no way to protect this pawn yet again. Like, even if I play bishop takes d6, black won't capture back, because if black captures back, it goes out of the square of this pawn, and immediately this pawn can queen. So that's not going to happen, but black will instead play king b6 and capture this pawn. So that will be a draw yet again. So that's not going to happen. So king d3, like rushing with your king, is not the best move. So again, if you did not find the first move, pause again here and try to find the best move for white here. The idea behind finding that move is black is threatening b5. That is the idea. Black is threatening to play b5, king b6, capture this pawn, because black wants to have an option of, like, if I cannot go to b7, I want to go to b6 to capture this pawn. And the only way for us to protect all these dark squares is going to be our bishop. So we need to kind of move our bishop here so that we can get access to these squares eventually. So the only move here is to play bishop e7 with that idea in mind, where, hey, I want to cover the dark squares around the king. Now in this position, if you play something like b5 or even d5, they're both going to lead to the same conclusion. We played bishop e7 with the idea of covering these dark squares. So if black plays something like b5, we play bishop d8, and we cut off the king completely from the pawn. And there's no real way for the king here. In fact, black is in a complete zugzwang in this position. If black goes with b5, or even d5. They'll both lead to the same position. I'll just show you the variation like quickly, like b4, king d3, b3, king c3, b2, king takes b2. The reason I'm just moving the pawns here as black is because if you move the king anywhere, king c5, king c5, king b5, king d5, king d7, you cannot go to these two squares. Wherever you move, a7, done. We win. So black is in a zugzwang, and black can continue like moving the pawns, but eventually, like black has to move the king away from this pawn, away from outside of this square, and as soon as that happens, we queen and we win. So this is a winning continuation if black goes into this variation immediately. So let's go back. That's why bishop e7 works, because of like we have to go to d8. But now black has to play like a different move. So stepping outside the square is an instant loss of any kind. So the only move left for black, which also prevents us from playing bishop d8, is king c7. Now yet again another spot to pause the video to try and find the best move. What is black trying to do now here? Black is is kind of protecting against d8, but also threatening to go to b8. If black goes to b8, then black can go to a7 and then capture the pawn, and we cannot prevent black from doing that if we allow black to go to d8 and to b8. And the only way for us to do that here is to sacrifice our bishop. This is a tactic called, you could say, attraction, if not deflection. Attraction is probably a right word, because you're attracting this king here and skewering the protection of that b8 square. Note, like if you just play king d6 immediately, I queen, because the king is, like I said, the king is outside the square around the pawn. So a7 and I start queening. So now here, the only move for black that would make any sense is to play king c6. Because nowhere, like in any of the positions, can black take the bishop on d6. Now what is black threatening still? Like we have taken up this square. We have taken up these squares. What else can black do to catch up to this pawn? Black is threatening b5. That is the only way black can do it. So right now, if we move our bishop, black will get access to c7. Like even if we like play a move like let's say bishop back, black can now like play b5 and try to see if there's anything that can be done, but it's still like a winning continuation. So let's keep it simple. Let's say assume like we just play a move like king d3 here without much worry, and like also like keeping it a bit more straightforward. So let's say we play king d3, just bringing the king closer, and black plays b5 to keep up with this pawn on a6. Again, now what is happening here? Black is, when we had our bishop on d8, black did not have this option because we are covering b6. Right now, black has that option because our bishop is on d6 instead. And the only way to cover for us to cover b6 and still keep the same threats is to play bishop to c5. We sacrifice the bishop again. We are like, please take my bishop. And here, if you see, like we cannot play bishop c7 because king takes c7, and then the black king is inside the square, so it's going to catch up to the pawn. That's why bishop c5. But bishop c5 allows black access to c7. So black will play king c7. Now again, renewing the threat of going to b8. If we play bishop d6, might as like black can now play king b6, not even king c6. So that is not possible. Again, the only winning move here is to play bishop to a7. And we finally get our dream position. We have a force field around this pawn which the black king cannot do anything about, which is absolutely crazy. And whoops. And the thing is, we just like completely winning. What can black do now? Black cannot do anything. Let's say b4, king c4, like b3 takes. Black can try to come forward. We play this, and now again there are no squares, really any squares to move. We had to come forward to cover b5, otherwise black you can capture the pawn. And now you have to step back. I go back. You step back. I go back. You can't go this way. You have to play something like king d8. Put the bishop literally anywhere. King c8, trying to get access of b8 again, but a7, taking away that access. King d8, and then we queen, and then we win this game. This is the simple end game that you could even give up the bishop if you don't want it, but it's just a elementary end game. What an end game! This is like the series of only moves that we have to find is just kind of crazy. Let me go back all the way to the starting position just to show you, just for the sake of completion. Like, this is a critical variation that we already saw, so you could just stop watching the video here. But for the sake of completion, there's one more alternative that black has and need not take on b6, which is just to play king c6. But here, it is not that exciting of an endgame, but we still win. That's what I wanted to show. So we still would threaten with bishop e7, trying to come to this diagonal. And if you play ab6, a6, this is the position that we just saw. But black also has an option of playing a6 here, with the idea like, oh, I'm gonna take control of b7. So slightly different plan for black here, but white's plan would now have to like counter black's plan. So we'll bring our king forward with king d3, and black can play king b7, and king d4 and king c6. And here we can just play any waiting move just to get black out of give us control of the d5 square. If you play king b5, we can just play b7, so black cannot do that. So we can just play any move. I'm going to play bishop f8 after king d7, trying to just stick around. King d5, king c8, king c6. Black is running out of squares, and there's nothing much that can be done. King d8, b7, and we queen, and then we win the game. So that is just the side line, but for the sake of completion, I just made you look at it. So what an endgame, right? So if you skip to this part of the video, I'll just show you the solution with the critical line. If you want the sideline, just go back 2 minutes and you will find it. So the winning move for white and the only move is b6. After ab, we won't take back, but we'll play a6. And black is forced to play king c6 with the idea of getting to b8 to catch up to this pawn. And we play the only, and also black is threatening to play b5 to go put down king on b6. So we play this move bishop to e7 with the idea of going to d8 and cutting this king off this diagonal. Black has to play king c7. Playing any other move will put, playing a move like b5 will play bishop d8, and black is in a zigzag because he cannot get to the pawn. And getting out of this square of this pawn by playing a move like king d7 will mean we play a7 and queen our pawn. So black is forced to play king c7, threatening to go to b8 and taking away the d8 square. The only winning move for white is to play bishop takes d6, controlling b8 and also like trying to attract the king to a square where we cannot catch up to the pawn. Black plays king c6, and we bring our king closer because we all our pieces are in good squares. After b5, now black is threatening to go to b6 and catch up to the pawn. We sacrifice the bishop again with bishop c5. Black cannot take it because of a7. So it has to play a move like, let's say, king c7. And here we can simply play the move bishop a7, taking away the b8 square and creating a shield against the pawn. And from here, black really has no way to control. We take away the b5 square here, and then we just force the black king outside the pawn's range. Here again, it's trying to go to b8. We play a7 and we queen, and we win the endgame. And that's the solution. There's a line with king c6, but you can check it out at the last part of the video. All right, then. I hope you guys like this video, and if you like it, leave a like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel if you like this kind of content. Catch you guys in the next one.